Drivers are continuing to feel the pinch at the pump as gas prices are up almost $2 per gallon since the Russian invasion of Ukraine. This afternoon, President Biden called on states and Congress to take additional action to provide relief, including creating a federal gas tax holiday, which would suspend the federal tax on gas and diesel for 3 months. 12 News reporter Alexandra Leslie has more details on what that would mean for anyone who drives. Alex?
Mike, filling up your personal car every few weeks is one thing, but some businesses with daily deliveries are making regular trips to the gas station, and it's been adding up. The president says if Congress, states, oil refineries, and gas stations act, it could save consumers up to $1 per gallon.
We have 2 trucks on the road full time.
Mitchell Check's set of flower shops have his delivery drivers constantly on the road. But since gas prices continue to climb, he's had to raise delivery fees and plan for more efficient routes, which he says can be hard to do at times.
Because a lot of times you don't know where you're going until the morning or the next hour.
And 1 or 2 days later, Mitchell says each van's tank needs to be filled up again.
It's probably about $60 a tank, so it's still significant, you know.
President Joe Biden is hoping suspending the federal gas tax, amongst other things, will help families and businesses with cars. The holiday would suspend the federal gas tax for 90 days without affecting the fund that keeps the country's highways and public transit up and running.
With the tax revenues up this year and our deficit down over $1.6 trillion this year alone, we'll still be able to fix our highways and bring down prices of gas.
Currently, the federal government charges an 18-cent tax per gallon of gasoline and a 24-cent tax per gallon of diesel.
I call on the companies to pass this along, every penny of this 18-cent reduction to the consumers.
The president is also calling on companies with refineries that shut down during the pandemic to come back online.
And members of my team will be meeting with many of these refining companies tomorrow.
And the president is also calling on states to take their own action. In Rhode Island, 2 separate bills up for consideration would suspend the state's fuel tax anywhere from a few months to over a year. Last month, the House Finance Committee recommended both bills be held for further study. Live in studio, Alexandra Leslie, 12 News.
Tonight, President Joe Biden is calling on Congress, states, and oil refineries and gas stations to act. He says together their efforts could save consumers up to $1 per gallon. That, as regular gas both nationally and locally, is still close to $5 a gallon, and diesel is closer to $6. 12 News reporter Alexandra Leslie joins us now with more details on the president's remarks.
Well, Mike, there's a lot of moving parts in the president's proposals. One part of the plan relies on Congress approving a federal gas tax holiday, which would suspend the tax on gas and diesel for 90 days. Federal taxes, 18 cents a gallon on gas and 24 cents a gallon on diesel, help to keep the country's highway trust fund whole. But President Biden wants Congress to suspend the tax through September and says it can be done without negatively impacting that fund.
With the tax revenues up this year and our deficit down over $1.6 trillion this year alone, we'll still be able to fix our highways and bring down prices of gas.
18 cents a gallon? It's not that much.
Mitchell Check runs 2 local flower shops with 2 vans that make daily deliveries. And every 1 to 2 days, each van needs to be refueled.
People don't realize that you have to do the deliveries. It takes a lot of fuel. It takes upkeep on the trucks. So there's a lot of expenses that you don't really see.
President Biden says the proposed federal gas tax alone won't be enough to help drivers or businesses like Mitch's.
I call on the companies to pass this along, every penny of this 18-cent reduction to the consumers.
But he's also hoping states will eliminate state fuel taxes or create other ways to provide relief. In Rhode Island, 2 separate bills up for consideration would suspend the state's fuel tax anywhere from a few months to over a year. Last month, the House Finance Committee recommended both bills be held for further study. With no guarantee the federal gas tax holiday would pass in Congress, the president is also calling on companies with refineries that shut down during the pandemic to come back online. He says members of his team will meet with some refinery companies tomorrow. In studio, I'm Alexandra Leslie, 12 News.